In this module, you'll learn to manage your tasks and projects with ease, leveraging the power of AI agent systems to automate your workflow, all with the help of Taskade. We'll first introduce the tool, navigate through its interface, understand what it can and cannot do, and examine how much it costs to go pro. Then we'll learn to manage tasks with their multiple views, creating easy to-dos that you can follow seamlessly. And from there, we'll leverage their internal AI agents to build out your own digital team. Once you finish this module, you'll manage your work and automate tasks so much faster and so much easier. And so with that being said, let's get started. So Taskade is an AI-powered productivity and workflow automation platform that allows users to build and deploy AI agents, as well as do task automation and research and collaboration, all in a single platform. Some of its key features include its AI workflow generator, their custom AI agents that you can build out yourself, or as well as the default agents they offer within their system. You can also view your tasks in multiple views, whether that be boards, tables, calendars, mind maps. And it also offers real-time collaboration and many project management tools that you'll see in other platforms like Notion or ClickUp. With Taskade, you get 3 pricing plans like most platforms out there. You obviously have the free plan, which offers you 1 AI agent, 1 workspace, only 5 requests per day. And you do get the other views such as task lists, mind maps, flowcharts, Kanban board, and more. But with the Taskade Pro and for Teams, you get unlimited AI usage. You also have the ability to create multiple AI agents. You also have the option to be able to view in Gantt view or table view and get access to custom fields. And with the Teams, you get multi-agent teams, which are essentially combining multiple agents in one and having it like your digital workforce. So there are slight differences between the two. I think for the most part, Taskade Pro would work well for most people, especially if their teams are not that big. So this is probably why they indicate this as popular. So Taskade itself is loved by millions, and I do recommend checking it out if you're looking for a leaner project management option. Now, when it comes to creating a new project, you just simply go into your workspace. You can do this directly from home, or you can go into your individual folder that you've created and then create a new project from there. So let's say if we were just to go from home, doesn't really matter. You can create new and you'll have the option to be able to create a new project from completely blank or an AI project. Now just to show you, if I were to create a project from blank, then there's going to be absolutely nothing there and everything you will have to type out yourself. As you can see, you have multiple different views when it comes to Taskade. And many other project management tools offer these services, but sometimes some of the ones that I've tested out, you need to pay premium just to have these different views out there. But with Taskade, it already offers you mostly everything except the Gantt chart. And so this really offers a lot of flexibility and a capability for you to use the platform at your will. So you can create a project. Let's say I want to create this project as testing project for Learn, and voila, the project is already created. And so once again, you can review the different tasks and blocks that you've set up throughout. And you're going to notice as soon as you create a project, you're going to get this little window on the right called the Taskade AI. We'll dive a little bit deeper into this in another video, but this is essentially your AI chatbot that you can talk with Taskade AI to help you look at multiple different tasks, what's going on next. You can ask it questions, and you can do a lot with just this Taskade AI in itself to help you organize as well as find information. For now, we'll close that. If we go back to the workspace and we want to create an AI project, if you hit this, you're going to be able to write down a given prompt. And if you write this prompt, then essentially it will create a project for you with all the given things. So let's say you can check out the view prompts here, and they have a whole set of options that you can choose from in different categories. So let's say if I would say productivity, and I will write, let's say develop routines for consistency and discipline. So I copy that, and then I'm going to go back and I paste that over. Now you can choose to add this, create this as just a general project, or in a mind map view, or notes, and depending on the language you want as well, add any files and links to give more context. But let's say if I choose to enter this now, then it's going to take a bit of time to start generating, and you're going to notice it's going to generate a couple of things based off of the given prompt. Now I can either continue to write, or I can make it longer, or I could just ask Taskade AI, which is integrated throughout the whole platform, to perhaps maybe add more to this, right? So add more steps that can be taken to optimize the day. So then it's going to redo things, and based off of what I had told it, is going to expand upon what was originally given. So there you have it. And then you could just simply hit create the project. And like that, you have a project already created off of everything that it was generated, with all of these individual subtasks created. And as I showed you earlier, this is the beautiful thing about Taskade. You can go and see it from different views, see it from a different mind map views. So you can zoom out and see all the distinct tasks that are broken down and what you need to be doing in order to achieve this. You can also look at it from a default mind map view, like a tree mode. Give this project a name, optimize the day. Right? And there you have it. You have a project that you can start working with immediately moving forward. And this project can be broken. These projects don't necessarily need to be work projects, but they can also be individual personal projects that you have that you want to keep track of, that you have multiple tasks on. Now remember, projects are not tasks. Projects are overarching things that you're going to be attempting to achieve. And within each project, you can have tasks and subtasks and so on. Now, in addition to creating projects through the AI project or just starting from blank, you can also choose from multiple templates that they have, just so you can get started much faster. So you can hit browse templates, and you can notice that there's going to be a huge list of templates that you can choose from. And I'm sure they're expanding this as they move along. You can look at things from a mind map view, so brainstorm new ideas, or perhaps you want a project that relates to the weekly chores that are required. If it's something more work related, perhaps you have the sprint retrospective meeting. So let's say I click this, and then you click a project, you can have a preview of all the different projects, how this project would look like. So you can see what it looks like prior to actually integrating it into your system. And then let's say I like this, so I hit use template and I choose the workspace. So I'll choose learn, and it's going to be copying the template over, and voila, you already have these project already set up for you. So you don't need to type everything yourself from scratch. Instead, you can just use these templates to get started much quicker and then adjust accordingly. Now, let's say if I say goal achievement to complete the MVP in 3 months, in first month, and then the key metrics is, NPS score of 30, and the business value delivered is positive reviews on the product, right? So the reason I'll just put anything here for now. And if the reason I wanted to show you this is because if you remember earlier, I mentioned that you can speak with Taskade AI Chat to just interact with your projects at hand. So beforehand, if it's a new project, you want to enable the project chat, and you can also enable settings while you're at it. And then you can take note here. Now you have the Taskade AI, and you can just ask it questions like, what is the goal to be achieved for this sprint. If I just ask it a quick question, it'll give me the goal is to achieve for the sprint is to complete the MVP, minimum viable product. And so you can see that it's taken the information that I just put into the project and it's already able to give me an answer about it. So this really becomes super helpful, especially as your projects become more expansive, as you have more and more tasks to keep track of. Instead of trying to look through everything yourself manually, you can just interact with Taskade AI and get quick answers from the questions that you have. Because especially if you have a larger team, this might be a little bit tedious to really follow up with multiple things. So you can ask it questions to follow up with individuals or see what that individual is doing depending on who's assigned. And yeah, that's one of the powerful things about Taskade AI. Now with each project, before I finish this video off, with each project, of course, you have your due dates that you can assign it. Then you can assign it to a given person, and you can even add given tags, creating new tags itself, and have automations set up for each. And so this is one of the cool things that Taskade really does well in a simple manner. Now, other platforms such as ClickUp, which I use personally as well, also do this, but the reason I chose Taskade is because Taskade is really self-explanatory and simple to just get started. I know that ClickUp, while I personally love it myself, there have been other people that have mentioned that it is a little bit heavy just because it's so customizable that for somebody who's not as used to these project management tools, it might be a bit overwhelming or intimidating for them to get started. With Taskade, you don't really have this problem. So once you've created a project, you have what is a block. So these are called blocks, right? So in a block, you have multiple tasks or key points that you can create. So you notice here, these are created by inbox, tasks for the day, weekly review. And if this is shown in a mind map view, these are each individual blocks that are created. Now let's going back to the main view. Some key things to take note of when you're working on a given block is you can hit a backslash, which will give you access to all of Taskade AI's internal features. So you can use the default AI to help summarize things, rewrite things, outline, brainstorm subtasks, give SEO tips. You can assign due dates directly, right? You can assign due dates. You can also even add actions like add a task above or below. You can, create checkpoints, highlight numbers, create timers, and you can do all of this just by hitting the backslash. So this is your real go-to key, shortcut key that you really want to get familiar with. But if you want to do this on your mouse, you can also see that with every line that you hover over, there will be a plus sign and a triple dot. So the triple dot is just similar. You can give these main key things that you want to highlight. So for example, I want to highlight this word. I want to highlight this line. I can highlight this and put this as purple, orange. But if you want to highlight individual words alone, you just have to select the word. And then you have this text editor where you can give a highlight here, give an extra other highlights here, add a link, whatnot. All right. And so these are some of the useful things you can do. If you hit Shift and Enter, you can start adding notes to each individual subtask or task. For example, this is super important to remember, right? And so this serves as almost sort of like a mini description to the subtask itself. You can also hit @, which can then mention a given user or a project that you have. So you can say, make sure to check out, and then @ something. And you can do this all through the triple dot as well. If you hit the plus sign, which can also be accessed by Command / or Control / if you're on Windows, you have your additional options that you can create. And so these additional options are the things that you'll be able to see below a given task. So, if you notice here on notes, you have the option to create reactions, right? So you might be wondering, how can I get that option? Then you just hit Command / and then you can create reactions. And then you can add that here, and then this will give the options for people to be able to add reactions to things. So this is super useful if you have teams that you want them to indicate whether or not they've read a specific task or understand the specific task. You can also add timers if you want to start timing things. And you can even add statuses, right? So this is quite flexible in what you want to do, but anything that goes right below the fold of these different extra add-on options like reactions, statuses, you do command \, and anything that is the primary AI menu, you do just \, and you can just see different AI menus you have here. So I'll just show you some of the AI things here is, let's say I want to suggest some communication tools. So this is using the Project Management Advisor AI agent. So then it'll just give you a couple of things. He'll start creating things from the get-go, and then I can just insert this and boom, I have something directly created from my AI agent. Now, as I explained how to navigate through the Taskade app itself and how to use different boards and text projects, I mentioned briefly about the AI chat. So one thing that is integrated into Taskade is this AI chat, which makes it a powerful capability to not only interact with your tasks by asking it questions, almost like an assistant or a partner, but also being able to take actions on the tasks itself. So one way is by, if you highlight specific text on the board or project board itself, you can notice that there's a little sparkle here. If you hit that sparkle, you have access to the AI chat, which can help rewrite things, summarize things, and really just take action on the text itself. But if you go all the way at the top right, just as a reminder, you can hit this little chat bubble and it'll open up Taskade's AI chatbot. Now, Taskade's AI chatbot, you have a couple of options here. In this option, you have the ability to select from some of their templated prompts, and they give you some suggestions from the get-go. And these constantly refresh every time you open up the AI chatbot again. But let's say none of the ones that are provided you like, so you can also view more, and you have a whole array of prompts offered to you in this prompt library, and for different use cases as well. So for example, let's say you want to create something in relation to sales, like you need some help with sales and you want to get a sales call script. You can just copy this over, paste this into the chatbot, and then from there, just fill out the details that are bracketed, right? For an e-commerce store selling dog treats. And it's the same sort of product and service, so I can just paste that over. And for the most part, you can just review and revise through it. You can also toggle the personas like so. And personas and tones are essentially what kind of person or expert do you want your chatbot to take on, as well as how do you want the chatbot's output to sound like. So in this case, we might want to do something like, let's say if there is a customer service or sales lead. Well, in this case, we'll put negotiation experts because it relates to sales. And then the tone can be authoritative. Then I could just press enter, and right there, give it a few minutes, and boom, Taskade's AI chatbot will be able to create responses of this. So it's like having your own ChatGPT integrated into the Taskade platform instead of hopping on and off and switching between apps. They have their own individual chatbot here. So this is one of the great uses of Taskade's AI chatbot. Another great way is that it can also tell you things directly about your project. So you can ask it questions like, well, what are some of the apps or apps software mentioned in the inbox task of my project? And so if I ask it a question such as that, then it'll give me a couple of the tools that were mentioned here and just tell me briefly about them here. So let's say that this becomes super useful when your project board becomes very text heavy and has a lot of information or assets on it. Instead of having to find where it is or scroll through a bunch of information, you can just ask your Taskade AI chatbot directly and it can give you all the information quick. You can even ask it to tell you due dates and the status progress. So for example, you can say something like, let's say I put this due date is October 13th, 2004. Let's see if this works. So what is the due date for capturing new tasks in weekly review? If I ask that to the chatbot, it has been told me October 12th, 2024, 3 p.m. to October 13th, 2024, 3 p.m. So this is pretty correct, right? And so it'll tell you where you can find this as well. Now you can do this, you can use the AI chatbot across your entire projects, across all your entire workspace essentially. It can really scroll through different parts of your project as well. And if you want to perhaps just clear your history, you just hit the triple dot at the top, clear history. And another useful thing about, let me just clear this. And another useful thing about this chatbot is that beyond just using it as an AI chatbot, you can toggle this here by selecting team chat and then have chat directly with your team members on this team chat. So then you have your built-in chat system with your team on all of Taskade itself. So this functions like a live chat box as well. You can have calls on it. So if you hit the little phone number, you can hit this, join the meeting, and have meetings directly on it. So it, instead of switching between Slack, like if you use Microsoft Teams or Slack, and then you also have a separate project management tool, Taskade has all of this in one. So this becomes super useful as well. So you can end the meeting. You can even link it with other calendars or meeting links. And so I think this Taskade AI chatbot is super powerful, super useful when it comes to working cross-functionally, as well as communicating between your team members, but also internally for yourself, being able to get quick answers from all of the information in your project. Now in the next video, I'll talk a bit deeper into AI agents, which you can all integrate together with your chatbot. Now, beyond just your AI chatbot or chat assistant that Taskade offers you, which already itself improves the workflow and productivity, you also have AI agents that you can build out yourself and use across your projects. So if you hit the way far right toggle here, toggle agents, you can hit that. It brings up that right menu. You can either create your own agent or view all that you currently have. So I've created a couple of test agents here, but let's say we'll create our own. If you create your agent, then you'll be open to this little pop-up box here, where you have a couple of template agents that you can work with. And they've created for most use cases, they've already created quite a lot. So you can already choose and pick and choose from the options that Taskade offers you, whether you want your distinct copywriter or you want somebody that's really dedicated to just create for newsletters. And so just think about AI agents in this case, in the case of Taskade, as more customized, focused chatbots, right? So the chatbot itself, you have to sort of interact with by giving it instructions and giving it prompts, while the AI agent itself already has an understanding of what you want to do for that given use case. And all you need to do is just really trigger it for it to take action, right? So in this case, let's say if I want to create a copywriter or a YouTube script writer in case, and I create this agent, I can then be open to the actual editing board. And here, this is where you're going to tell Taskade more instructions about the AI agent. How do you want it to behave? And in this area of instructions, I would recommend to be as specific as possible. You can pull from some of the prompts that Taskade has offers, but you can also just give it more context, constraints, give all responses in bullet point form, have a friendly tone, right? And just really in this area, I would say be as expansive as possible, because you do have about 10,000 characters you can write out, meaning that you can really stuff it with as much information as possible. You also do want to give it a name. Then you go into knowledge, and knowledge is essentially the data that you're training this AI agent to have, right? So you can say, toggle this to enable knowledge. You could add media, whether it's PDF files. You can add links to specific websites. You can even add YouTube videos or add specific projects. Perhaps you have a project all about YouTube videos and have all the information regarding your own YouTube videos, you can add that project so then it has that context to take from. And then once you add that, then there's so much more you can do with this, right? So I can say, let's say I'm going to search up, let me just search up YouTube strategies on YouTube. So I'm just searching this up right now. And then I will add a YouTube video. I can paste that link over, right? I can paste that, let's see, paste that link over, add to knowledge. And now you're going to see that it's going to be training this AI agent off of this YouTube video and the contents of this YouTube video. So this has become super useful in the case where if you have like your top 10 YouTube videos you go to learn about how to create better YouTube scripts, then you can essentially paste all of those YouTube videos into this AI agent that's specialized on writing YouTube scripts. And then it'll then pull from that information it's learned and be able to give you the tips leveraging its knowledge, right? And you can combine this with different links and media and project, as I mentioned earlier. Then you have tools. And so tools, you can think of tools as sort of automations that you can set up yourself or existing automations that are there on Taskade and really give it different things that it can do, right? So you can add a tool like create a project, right? Add a task. And so what this does is it equips the AI agent with some sort of actionable that it can take when you're using it. And then you can also go deeper into this by giving it some specific commands. And these are really great for if you want to get the agent to do more specific things like generate video ideas or write full scripts itself, right? So here you see if I have this command, it's like write a full script for a YouTube video. Then the name of this is just write full script. So if I were to type write full script, it'll pull from this command and do that really well. And once again, go back to prompt templates to get some ideas if you need. And you can even further add some automations like integrating with different apps out there. So this feature of AI agents that Taskade offers is one of the more powerful features that I think it has. Of course, you only have access to one agent on the free plan, but with the pro plan as well as the team plan, you can create more agents and you can almost create teams of agents that will help to do a lot of the work for you. So instead of you having to prompt the AI chatbot all the time and copy paste different text across the board. All right. So now once you've updated this, press update. And then let's see, it will complete this. And while it's completing this, it's just going to take a bit of time because you are essentially creating this AI agent and you've trained it on things that it should know. And once it does that, you can access that in the AI agent. So moving forward, if I use this AI agent, I can have a conversation with it and I can say, optimize for write a full script, create video hooks, right? And the topic should be about augmented reality. If I press enter, the AI agent will then write really engaging YouTube hooks, video hooks for that specific topic. All right. And you can always choose to add this, copy this over, add this into an existing project on your knowledge base. Keep in mind, this is currently in the project BA's SB. All right. And then if you want to go into the commands, you can see all the different commands that I've had before, which you can toggle with just the /bar. So keep in mind, you can keep adding more commands as well in the future. If you hit the toolbar, you can look at the different tools that it has access to, right? Web search. And this is really a more powerful version of a typical AI chatbot. And I would probably say this is one of the most appealing reasons for opting into Taskade versus any other project management tool. Because while some project management tools do offer these sort of chatbot experiences, I haven't seen one yet that has implemented AI agents into their workflow as well as Taskade has. And considering the low price that Taskade offers, I think this is well worth it. So yeah, that really wraps up about using AI agents. And then next video, I'll talk about creating AI teams. Now with Taskade Pro users or team users, you have AI Teams option on the second tab of the AI Agents right menu, right? So if you have AI Teams, what this does is essentially clump multiple different agents together to act as a unified team. So you're really just creating your own digital team that can do a lot of the work for you. So you can create a team, call this perhaps copy team, and I can include the YouTube script writer as well as the UX copywriter that I've built earlier, and then create a team. And then now these will work together in parallel using all of its information that it's been trained on. So everything that the UX copywriter has been trained on and the knowledge that it knows and the instructions you've given it, as well as everything that the YouTube scriptwriter agent knows and the knowledge base that it has, these will kind of be consolidated as a single unit so that you can sort of work with these teams individually to be able to give you a much more powerful output, right? So give me some tips on writing persuasive headline YouTube video fill. And then I can just write something very generic here. And then right here, you'll notice that it's delegated this task specifically to the YouTube script writer, right? But then perhaps in the future, if you ask him more specifically to, how can I improve the copy for these headlines? Then it will delegate this to the UX copywriter, right? And then you can just copy this over. Improve the copy for the headlines. Give me a list of headlines or YouTube video titles on the subject of augmented reality, right? So it'll delegate this, it'll create this to the YouTube scriptwriter. So it's giving me a couple of options. And then with this, okay, based on the suggestions provided, improve the copy. And then it'll delegate that to the UX copywriter, and then it'll improve the copy of the headlines that the YouTube scriptwriter provided. So this really sets you up to really have a powerful team at hand. And so especially teams that are working in marketing teams, engineering teams, you can create an AI agent that is tasked at a specific thing. For an example, if you're on a marketing team, you can have a social media agent, you can have a content marketing agent, as well as a YouTube scriptwriter agent, and have these three agents work together in a single team so that when you're interacting with the team now, you can sort of make sure that it delegates. Whenever you ask it a question, it'll choose the right agent to do the task, and then everything works in a unified way. So this is a lot easier than having to jump between different agents separately. If you have them in a single team, then you just speak with the team and the delegating will be done automatically for you.